Evolutionary greetings, Sister Tage, feeding our audience. I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you. I know it's been a few weeks since we've last spoken, and can you give us an update on what is happening in Lamert Park, especially on Sundays?
Okay, right now we have a coalition that's come together to start looking at some of the issues that are happening in Lamert Park and the surrounding communities. On Sundays right now, we're having a what we call the Break Bread program or Community Love Initiative. We joined with the Black Dot Empowerment Network, and we are feeding between 50 to 75 people every week in the park. Um, the meal varies week to week, but we have had more people step up and donate food. We ourselves are preparing hot meals to give to people, but other folks are donating bread, produce, canned goods. Now that it's getting colder, we have been asking people to contribute blankets, um, tents, but other things, jackets that are needed as the weather is getting colder. Last week it rained a little bit, so we're just asking people to really consider that we have a housing crisis right now, and whether it's Lamert Park, Skid Row, a lot of underpasses throughout the city, we're seeing more and more people ending up on the streets. And in Lamert Park, we have an issue of gentrification that has played a major factor in this. For the last few months, we've been bumping heads with the city as far as how they're going about dealing with people that are ending up homeless in the park. There was a lot of police harassment, other means of terrorizing the homeless that was going on for a while. It has calmed down a little bit. There's still a strong presence in the park. There's also some harassment of the vendors that are going on out there on Sundays. But right now, we are trying to give a voice and shed light and give more support for a very necessary crisis that is going on with the homelessness, also the amount of drugs that are being pushed into the park and the community is escalating. But we also are connecting that and standing in solidarity with the prison strike, as some of the people who are homeless are coming out of prison with no resources and nowhere to go. So, it's a lot of different factors, but fortunately, more people are starting to wake up. Actually, last time I was on the show, one of the listeners, she came to a meeting we had and donated a lot of material that we are still reviewing and hopefully can assist some of the people who have vouchers and other means of getting whatever resources are available off the streets into some of those programs. So most definitely want to, again, thank you, Sister Tage, for allowing us to speak about this issue, and most definitely for the listeners out there who are stepping up and supporting.
Thank you, brother. And I remember the last time we spoke, they had fenced off the park. And so can you
Right.
tell us what's gone on since they removed that fence?
Well, basically, it's back to where people are being allowed to, stay in the park, stay in the park overnight. It was just announced this past week that the city council is they have approved for the city attorney to now draft a new ordinance that will not allow people to sleep in their cars and RVs. And that is the case for some of the people surrounding the park and immediate area. So that is something we're going to monitor a lot closer. But as far as the fence, it hasn't gone back up, and people have had access to the park. On occasion, there has been some issues as far as the restrooms being open and the maintenance of the restrooms. But as far as the city and LAPD interfering with people's livelihoods and liberties, it has not been to where it was just a few months ago.
Thank you, Brother Billion. And just to go back real quick, if people wanted to contribute to the food program on Sundays, can you give some contact information?
Yeah, I can be reached through my email, which is billion, BILLION underscore atomic, ATOMIC at yahoo.com. We can also be found on Facebook. That's Blackson365, BLACTION 365. Or people can just show up on Sundays at 3 o'clock. We'll be out there on the south end of the park, on the Vernon side of the park. Usually we'll have a couple tents, but they could bring whatever they want to donate. We just ask that all food items be fresh and nothing spoiled.
Thank you, Brother Billion, for all your community work and for all your years of contribution here at Freedom Now as well. Thank you.
But thank you for, keeping this program running and keeping the memory and work of Deedon alive. Thank you.